This is Neil Johnson from 2020, and we're up to day 11 in the 25 days of Christmas. I've got a devotional to share with you. It's entitled Share Your Story, based on Luke chapter 1, verses 68 through 79. Can you imagine being one of the 12 people who walked on the moon? If I'd been part of something so amazing, something that so few people have experienced, you can bet I'd brag about that to everyone that I met. When awesome things happen to us, it's natural to want to share the news with people around us. You think the guy who went skydiving over the weekend keeps quiet about it on Monday? Or that someone who's climbed Mount Everest just shrugs and asks if he likes hiking? No way. Incredible things fill us up until we can't contain our excitement any longer, and we just have to tell everyone who will listen. When we look at the first Christmas, we see that those who encountered Jesus had the same reaction. Mary was barely through the door at Elizabeth's house before she was pouring out her excitement over the child that she was carrying. The shepherds told everyone they could find about the angels and the baby that they'd seen. And when Zechariah saw the miracle the angel had promised him, he immediately began to speak. He couldn't say enough about the goodness of God. His response shows us exactly how we too should respond to the amazing event we celebrate at Christmas. Zechariah begins to testify. That's a word that means bear witness or give evidence. A witness is someone who has seen something with their own eyes, who can offer proof from their own life and something that is true. Zechariah testifies over and over of God's faithfulness to the nation of Israel and to him. Zechariah takes the witness stand and gives evidence that God is keeping the promise he made through Abraham and the prophets to send the world a Saviour, and that God had kept his promise to give Zechariah and Elizabeth a child. Zechariah has also personally experienced God's goodness and love, the fulfillment of God's promise to give knowledge of salvation to his people in the forgiveness of their sins. That's in verse 77. He testifies that we can come to our God without fear, and that he is coming not in judgment as we deserve, but with tender mercy to give light to those who sit in darkness and in the shadow of death. Zechariah's song is known as the Benedictus, from the Latin translation of the first two words, blessed be. Zechariah has encountered God, and it's left him with nothing but good things to say. In this season, many people try to conjure up warm and fuzzy feelings about Santa, and some feel let down when all the gifts have been opened. But we have real joy in our celebration because, like Zechariah, know that God has kept his promise. We've experienced his love. Like Zechariah, we should be so overwhelmed by our experience of the Saviour that we can't help but share the evidence with our friends and our neighbours. We can witness that God keeps his promises because we've seen it with our own eyes. We can witness that God offers forgiveness because we have been forgiven. Every Christmas gives us an opportunity to testify to the love of God by sharing our story.